Welcome. These are the notes for Math Essentials, Chapter 4, Section 6. We're using intercepts to graph equations of lines. First of all, let's talk about what the intercepts are. The x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. And to find the x-axis, we set y to 0. So if we had a graph here, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, and the line's coming through. Right where it crosses the x-axis, that's the x-intercept. Y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So in our example up here, it would be right here where it crosses the y-axis. So to find the y-intercept, we set x to 0. Now, what we're going to do is we've got some equations here, and we're going to find the x and the y-intercept. So, to begin with, we're going to set y to 0. So, 8 times x minus 2 times 0 equals 32. 2 times 0 basically gets rid of that, and what I'm left with is 8 times something equals 32. Divide both sides by 8, and x equals 4. Which means that the x-coordinate of that is 4. When that's 4, the y-coordinate is 0. It's crossing the x-axis. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put 0 in for x. 8 times 0 minus 2 times something equals 32. So we've got negative 2 times something equals 32. We divide both sides by negative 2. And y is negative 16. So the coordinates of that point tell us that we put 0 in for x, and when we put 0 in for x, y ends up being negative 16. Those are the x and the y-intercepts. Okay, let's try it for the next equation. This time, again, we're going to put 0 in for y. 2 times x plus 3 times 0 equals 18. So that's gone. We can just cover it up. 2 times something equals 18. We need to multiply 2 by 9 to get 18, which means that the coordinates of that point, we put 9 in for x, y becomes 0. On this one, we're going to put x in, we're going to substitute x for 0. 0 in for x, plus 3 times something equals 18. So now that's gone. 3 times y equals 18. Divide both sides by 3, and y equals 6. Which means for this point, the x-coordinate is 0, and the y-coordinate is 6. Let's do it a couple more times. Again, this time we're going to put 0 in for y. So negative 12 times x minus 4 times 0 equals 36. So that's totally gone. We don't have to worry about that. We can cover it up and it's gone. Negative 12 times x equals 36. So x equals, when you divide both sides by negative 12, 36 divided by negative 12 is negative 3. So now the x-coordinate is negative 3, and the y-coordinate is 0. We're going to do the same thing. Put 0 in for x. Negative 12 times 0 minus 4 times something equals 36. That's gone. We're left with negative 4y equals 36. And when we divide 36 by negative 4, we end up with negative 9. Again, the x-coordinate we put in this time was 0, and the y-coordinate is -9. Those are the coordinates of the points where it crosses the x and the y-axis. One more time. Here we go. 5 times something plus 3 times 0 equals 20. So 5 times something equals 20. When we divide 20 by 5, y equals 4. So again, we put 0 in for x. Make sure you list the x-coordinate first and the y-coordinate second. 0, 4. Now we're going to put 0 in for y. 5 times 0 plus 3 times something equals 20. 3x equals 20. And when we divide 20 by 3, it doesn't divide into it evenly. So we're just going to leave it as an improper fraction. 20 divided by 3, which is really close to 7. If it were 21 divided by 3, it would be 7. So the x-coordinate this time is 20 over 3, the fraction, and the y-coordinate is 0. We put 0 in for y right here. Okay, let's try it again. Get it up here where you can see it. All right, 1/2 of 0 plus 3y equals 18. So that's gone. Half of 0 is still 0. 3 times something equals 18. Y is 6. So the x-coordinate we put in was 0. The y-coordinate was 6. Let's put 0, 1/2 of x plus 3 times 0. We're going to put 0 in for y this time equals 18. That's gone. We can just cover that up and pretend like it's not even there. 1/2 x equals 18. So we want to know half of what number is going to give us 18. To do that, we divide by 1/2, which is the same as multiplying by 2. So x equals 36. So when x is 36, y is 0. Okay, let's get it over here a little bit. This time, we don't have an x-coordinate. All we have is y. So we're going to solve for y. Y equals 0. As you may recall, y equals 4 when we move that over. Excuse me. Y equals 4. Okay, as you recall, when you have y equals, that's going to be a horizontal line. So we go up the y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4 units, and there's the graph of that line. It's just a horizontal line. Of course, it crosses the y-axis at 4, so the y-intercept is at 0, x is 0, and y is 4 at that point. This is parallel to the x-axis, which means it's never going to cross the x-axis. So there is no x-intercept this time. Okay, let's go on. And this time, it's going to give us, draw a line that has these intercepts. So, the x-intercept is at -2. So we go on the x-axis over 2. There's that point. The y-intercept is at 3. On the y-axis, we go up 1, 2, 3 points. All you need is 2 points to make a line. And there's our graph. This one time, the x-intercept is at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The y-intercept is at 2, so that means we go up the y-axis for 2 units. And see if I can get it here so you can see it well. Connect our dots, and there's our graph. Okay, now we're going to graph these equations. So if we put 0 in for y, 2 times x minus 7 times 0 equals 14. Or in other words, 2x equals 14. X is 7. So it's going to cross the x-axis right over here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're off the graph just a tiny bit. Now we're going to put 0 in for x, so negative 7y equals 14. Y equals negative 2 this time. So we go down 2 on the y-axis, and there we go right there. Connect the two dots, and there we go. So the coordinates of this point, the x-coordinate is 7, the y-coordinate is 0. On this one, the x-coordinate is 0, and the y-coordinate is negative 2. Okay, here we go. This one's in slope-intercept form, so we're going to start with the y-intercept, which is negative 3. 1, 2, 3. And it has a slope of 3, so we go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. We can do that a couple of times. Up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Connect our dots. And if we're still looking for the x and the y-intercept, the x-intercept is at 1, 0. The x-coordinate is 1, the y-coordinate is 0. The y-intercept, the x-coordinate is 0, the y-coordinate is negative 3. That's this point right here. Now, let's try this one. This time it says y equals 2x minus 6. The y-intercept is at negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has a slope of 2, which means you go up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1 a couple of times. And we have a nice, accurate graph. On this one, we're going to look to see where it crosses the x-axis. It crosses the x-axis right here, which means that the x-coordinate for that one is 3, and the y-coordinate is 0. The y-intercept is down here, and the x-coordinate is 0 always, and the y-coordinate is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 6. Okay? Now, here we go. Let's try this one. X, if we put 0 in for y here, just equals 6. That's easy enough. We can plug in, we can have it cross the x-axis right here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we put 0 in for x, and that's gone, negative 3 times what number will give us 6? Y is going to be negative 2. Go down 2. There's our 2 points. Connect the dots. Whoops. Have a little straighter line. There we go. Again, the coordinates of this point are 6, 0. The coordinates of this point are 0, negative 2. So where it crosses the x or the y-axis is the x-intercept or the y-intercept. Okay, now on this one, all we have to do is find the x and the y-intercept. So this looks like it crosses the x-axis right here. The x-coordinate of that point is 2, and the y-coordinate is always 0. Here's the y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis. The x-coordinate for the y-intercept is always 0, and the y-coordinate in this case is -3. One more, and we've got it. This one, the x-coordinate for the x-intercept is -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -5, comma 0. And the y-intercept, the x-coordinate is 0, and the y-coordinate is -1. This system of graphing the x and the y-intercepts works very nicely if you can divide the number that you're multiplying x into evenly and the number you're multiplying y into evenly. So 2 into 14 was 7, -7 into 14 was -2. This is called standard form, and this works nicely to graph the x and the y-intercepts. If you have any questions, come talk to us. We'll be happy to help you with this information. Thank you for listening.